I am doing a basketball transformation in my classroom. Good morning, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariely Sanchez and I'm a 4th grade teacher in South Florida. So today I have a special video for you because I am doing a basketball transformation in my classroom. It's gonna be a mini transformation, but I'm gonna show you how I'm setting everything up as I go along today and what are the activities that my students will be engaged in. So without further ado, it's time to let the kids in and get our day started, and I'll start setting up the classroom once they go to our specials this morning. So let's get to it. All right, update time. It's a moment of truth. So I used all my planning time plus my lunch time. I didn't get to eat, I know, but I'm trying to rush. I wish I had time yesterday to stay after school and set everything up and do the final preparations, but I just couldn't because I had a doctor's appointment that I really needed to go to. But I haven't set up the room yet. I have most of the materials all set to go, but it's okay. I'm just going to set it up with the students when they come back, and we're just gonna do it together and have a great time this afternoon because I have to go pick them up from the cafeteria. But before I do, let me show you a package that I bought from Amazon that will add a little fun to our transformation. Let's see what's in the box. So let's open it up, and here it is. It's a little basketball hoop that goes over the door, and I'm sure the students will love adding this to our basketball transformation today. All right, so I'm gonna speed on out of here and get the kids and have them help me put the room together, and then we'll have some fun. I'll be sure to show a couple of clips here and there of the activities. See you soon. All right, I wanna first thank my students for being such good sports, pun intended. As we set up the whole classroom, I wanna show you the parts that we have put together and how we're gonna do this basketball transformation, which is a reading tournament. So everybody will be switching stations after a certain amount of minutes so that everyone will go to all of the stations from quarter 1, 2, 3, 4, and then overtime is the last one. So overtime is also like the relaxation station. So they're gonna get different instructions than the rest of the team, but here's what they're gonna do. So this is quarter 1. These are frames that I got from IKEA, and it just explains what the station is. And everyone in the station has different basketballs that have all the questions. So in quarter 1, the students will answer 1, 2A, and on the back is 2B, 3A, and on the back is 3B. So they're gonna answer these questions. Everybody's gonna take turns. Everyone will answer number 1 together. They'll record their answer under scoring sheets, and then they will check with me. If they got it correct, then they get to shoot a ball in their basket. And if they make it in, they get bonus points. Now, I went ahead, we have 2 passages and then 1 editing response. So the 2 passages are How the Moon Was Kind to Her Mother and Sly as a Fox. This is a paired passage. This comes from the FSA ELA reading practice that is on the site. So it's very similar to the questions that they're gonna see on the test. And the tables are covered with black paper, and I just sprinkled on some basketball confetti, and everybody has like a little basketball court in the center for like decoration. So this is quarter 1. Here's quarter 2, same passages, but they are now answering questions 4, 5, 6, and 7. So they're answering those questions, taking turns. I'll check their answers, and they get to shoot in the basket. They get to choose which ball they want to use. Whether they want to use the big one or the small one, doesn't matter. Now we have quarter 3, which is an informational passage. The other 2 quarters were literary text. And here is the passage, so it's just 1 double-sided page. And they will answer questions 8, 9, 10A, 10B, and 11, which are here as well on the little basketball cutouts. Then quarter 3 continues the same passage, but now they're answering the different questions, which are 12A, B, 13, 14, 15A, and 15B. So that is how they're going to record those answers. And then we have the last station, which is overtime. This one is a very short station. They're going to be reading these paragraphs on editing, and the words that are underlined are things that they need to fix, which are on the actual basketballs. So the questions are there, so they have to answer these. And again, documented on their scoring sheet. Now, when this group is done, every time a group comes through this one, they get to have some free time when they're done, which is why overtime is like the relaxation station. During free time, check out this basketball court that I just did with painter's tape on the floor. And we have our over-the-door hoop so they can throw basketballs here during free time. All right, so we're getting ready to start. I'm just gonna look at our time and kind of figure out how many minutes each group needs to be at that station. Since each group is answering about 4 to 6 questions, I'm going to kind of more or less decide maybe 10 minutes per session. What we're gonna do first is we're going to read the passages so that we know what the passages are about, and that way it doesn't take as long for the students to answer the questions. So that is our little basketball transformation, and when we're all done, we all get to celebrate because I have a special basketball themed snack for them at the end of the day. So we're gonna get started and I'll catch up with you after school. It's now the end of the day, and it's been a blast having this basketball transformation in the classroom. It was a little bit of work, but it was way worth it to see how exciting they were getting. We didn't quite finish all the rotations because some students needed a little bit more time with some questions, which is fine. So I told them if they want, they can continue tomorrow after the test, since we take the test in the morning and then in the afternoon we are free, and I wasn't really planning on teaching anything, just to give them a break. But let me just show you again a rundown of the classroom. But before I do, I want to show you my over-the-door basketball hoop that I got. I love it. The only thing is, which I don't mind, it doesn't allow the door to be completely closed. So the door stays open just a little bit, which is fine. The students were still able to shoot the ball from either this line, which was the 1-point line. So right here, this is a 1-point line. Then we go over here in the middle of the circle. This will be 2 points. And then we back up a little bit more. This is 3 points. And then even if they want to, I didn't make it today, but they could technically make it from the edge, and that would be 4 points. And of course, you can change points or whatnot. I really like how this little basketball court looks right here. I'm gonna leave it here for now, but I don't think it'll last because as the students walk on it or they move their chairs, like over here, it starts to get ripped. This is just painter's tape, see, little rips here and there, but I'll leave it here for now. So I wanted to give another rundown of each station. So this one happened to be quarter 1, which was the first part of these 2 passages. These are again from our FSA website. This is the practice test. I literally just took the questions and I typed them up on this basketball Clipart. I just made a white box on the basketball itself and then typed the questions in here. And also, if the question happened to have a part A, part B was on the back. I did that for those type of questions. If it didn't, then the back was just white. And here is number 3, and it has a part A in the front, and then the back is the part B. And this is a nice little clip art that I also put here on the table, and the confetti is from Party City. And again, the baskets with the basketballs are from Dollar Tree. These were the Easter baskets that look like basketball nets. And here is quarter 2, which is the second station, and here are all the questions that go along with that quarter. And I like that I was able to put these kind of questions too. These are the table match questions that we get on the FSA for Florida. FSA, if you don't know, stands for Florida Standards Assessment. And here's another table match that they were able to work with. And here is quarter 3, which was another passage. And these are the questions that went along with it. Again, I printed these questions out on regular paper on my color printer, and then I laminated them. I used the 5mm laminating paper, so it comes out kind of thick. So here's 10, which has a part A and a part B. And this is basically the setup for this station. And here's the setup for the next station, which continues the questions for the same passage as quarter 3. And the numbers continue on. Again, this is the part A, and the part B is on the back. This is number 13, which they need to choose 2 answers, so it's a multi-select. Here's another table match, and here's another part A and part B on the back. So that is the other session, which is quarter 4. And this is the last session, which is overtime. And this ended up being like a free session because even though they have to answer this question that has a part A and a part B based on some editing they need to do, and this question, it was pretty quick for them to answer it. So after they went ahead and answered those, they got to come to our basketball court and just free throw and just have fun just throwing the basketball and seeing if they can make it in. So that in a nutshell is my basketball transformation. I also wanted to say something about these little IKEA signs. Again, these are the double-sided picture frames that they sell in IKEA. I didn't have time to do it, but my other suggestion would be to put the directions on the back so that the students know what to do in the session, and do that for every single station that they rotate from. I like that this way of doing it allows the students to move, not only like play around and use a game as a form of review, especially this being a reading tournament where they were practicing some reading skills and answering reading comprehension questions. But I love that they had the movement, the playing, the answering the questions in a fun way. Now there's many different ways you can adapt this to any subject, not just reading, and hopefully I can make all of this available, and the basketballs will just be an editable template where you can add your own questions. The white box will already be on the basketballs, and then you could just type in a text box your questions. So that's what I'm hoping to do once I find time to put it in my store. And there's just so many other things that I wanted to do with this that I just didn't have time. Like another activity that I wanted to do was grudge ball, and I wasn't able to do it, but we can always do it for another time. Let me show you the PowerPoint that I put together with a lot of these different things that I use for today. Before I do that, I just wanted to say that I ended up buying 2 of these containers at Target. They were not very expensive. I want to say maybe $5 or so. And these cups are from Party City, and they come 8 to a pack, and they're pretty big. I believe they're 16-ounce cups. Let me see. Yeah, 16-ounce cups. And then I printed this little Clipart, and after I printed it in my black and white printer, I realized that I could have just printed the Clipart that comes in color and printed it out in my color printer, but I had already printed these out, so I'm like, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not like they're gonna save this forever. They're probably gonna throw it away. Let me show you the previous container so that you can see how much I use to give to 20 students. Here's the container that I did end up using, and I still have probably enough for 1 more. So depending on the size of your class, if you wanna do this with your students, and you want to use the same treat at the end of the day as they're going home, or maybe in the middle of the day as a snack, you would probably need 1 of these to fill, not the whole cup, but a good amount of the cup. These are big cups. You can also use smaller cups. But these 16-ounce cups, I want to say maybe I filled it 3/4 of the way with cheese balls. So that's how much you would need. If you have a bigger class, obviously you might want to get 2. But now I have an extra one that I can either take home or just leave here for future snacks. Here is the document that I created on PowerPoint for this basketball transformation reading edition. And I like how I was able to put like the book shooting down from the basketball hoop, and it was really cute. And these graphics, I'll link them down below so that you know where to get them from. So here is the basketball, and again, I just inserted a box and I made the background white, and then I made the border a little bit thicker, and then I typed in the questions. And I have this here for anything that I may want in the future, but these are the questions again that I got from the FSA website. This is the basketball court that again comes with the Clipart set. And this is the basketball reading tournament score sheet. And I forgot that I didn't put score sheet here. That's something that I would fix. But this is what the students were using to log and track their answers and the points earned. So for every answer they got right, they earned 1 point. And then they got to shoot the ball in their little baskets that I put at their teams. And if they made it in, they got 1 point. If they didn't make it in, they got 0 points. We didn't have time today, but if we would have gotten through all of the stations, the students then, each team, would get an amount of shots to shoot at the basketball hoop above the door for extra bonus points. So that is coming if we're able to do it later on. And then I have, these are the baskets that I went ahead and I put together so I can print them out for those treat cups. I also wanted to add where I got this practice test from. So if you go to FSAassessments.org, you get to go to the practice test section. And then from there, you go to the paper-based practice test materials. They also have a computer-based one, but my fourth graders take a paper-based test. And right here, paper-based practice test and answer keys. And they have them from 3rd grade all the way up to 10th grade. For the reading, for the writing, they have it from 4th to 10th. And the math, they have it from 3rd through algebra and geometry. And they also include the answer keys as well for those. And this is the one that I was using today with my students. So if you take a look, you scroll down, and it has that first passage that I was talking about, how the moon was kind to her mother. And then it has the paired passage, which is sly as a fox. And then we start with the questions. So this one actually goes from questions 1 through 7. So I literally just took these questions and I just typed them up on those little basketballs to make it more interesting for the students. You could do this with anything. It doesn't have to be state assessments. It could be your lesson that you're working on that you want to add a little bit of fun or novelty and engagement for your students. And here is the importance of Sue, which is the informational text. The first paired passage set was literaries, and this is the informational one. And then after that, you have questions 8 through 15 going over that passage. And it has a wide variety of questions, text structure, point of view, vocabulary, all those different kinds of skills that the students need to practice. And then we come to the last part, which is an editing skill, which is an editing task, which the students just have to fix whatever grammatical errors are on the passage. If you notice, some of them are underlined, and they have to decide whether that's incorrect and what is the correct answer, or if it's correct as is. And that basically is our state practice test. I also want to add that I initially thought about cutting out all of these basketballs with all of those questions for each group to have the same questions. But it was going to take me too long to cut through all of these, so I can have 5 different sets for all the students. So instead, I just decided to split it up, and that cost me time and materials as well. But now I have all these that I can actually cut out for future games that I want to play with my classes in the future. So that's all there is to it, to my basketball transformation. Leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite part about this transformation was. Also, if you have any suggestions on how you would adapt it for your students or any other activities you would do with them, let's start the conversation going and help each other out by sharing those in the comments down below as well. So I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on my basketball transformation reading edition. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought or any questions you may have. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I hope you have a beautiful, magical day, and don't forget to smile. Hello, dreamers, wishers, and magical thinkers. Thank you so much for making it to the very end of this video and for showing your support. If you'd like to subscribe, you can do so by clicking on my picture down here. You can also check out my latest videos here and here. Don't forget to believe in the magic that's inside you, because you are capable of great things. See you next time.